World of Warcraft Midnight is right around the corner, and whether you're a new player or returning, this might be the perfect time to jump back in. Midnight isn't just another expansion, it is actually packed with some genuinely fun content and changes that actually make the game feel like it's worth playing again. Blizzard rebuilt entire zones, streamlined classes, introduced a new adrenaline-pumping system called Prey and Hunt, and they even added long-anticipated player housing, where you could build, decorate, and show off your in-game home. Now in this video, we're going to dive into everything that Midnight has to offer, everything from the new zones to the new gameplay mechanics. Now with all that, let's jump into it. Midnight is filled with new systems and modernized features that make the game feel smoother, faster, and more engaging. Instead of piling on more complexity, Blizzard actually trimmed off the excess stuff and refreshed the world in a new and exciting way. For years, World of Warcraft gameplay has remained pretty much unchanged. You did some quests, you killed a few rares, you waited for some events, you could do dungeons, PvP, whatever. Midnight is completely reimagining outdoor content with the introduction of the Prey system. Prey transforms the open world content into a dynamic battleground where powerful enemies can hunt you down across the map, forcing you to stay alert while you quest or gather materials for your profession. And you could choose the difficulty of this. There's normal, hard, and nightmare difficulties, and the world adapts to match it. Sometimes you're the one being stalked, dodging sudden ambushes as enemies appear out of nowhere, and other times you're the hunter, actively tracking elite targets across the world for exclusive rewards. Now this is an entirely optional new system, but it seems incredibly fun. And now there is a new path for new and returning players, and if you haven't played since Legion or BFA, the new Midnight expansion actually makes returning exciting and extremely easy. Blizzard has rebuilt the new and returning player experience so that it finally feels modern and clean. Exile's Reach is getting a long-needed update with sharper storytelling, clear tutorials, and the main story path is completely streamlined, meaning the game now guides you through a focused, intentional narrative instead of scattering you across 10 different expansions. And the biggest upgrade is raids now actually have a single-player story mode, so you no longer miss the major plot moments you may have missed because you didn't raid. The game walks you through them in a narrative-driven format similar to a campaign mode. This is genuinely one of the most welcoming versions of World of Warcraft that we've seen yet. Now this next one is huge. Transmog is getting a massive upgrade. One of the biggest quality of life changes I think that we've seen in any expansion is the overhaul of the Transmog system. So instead of tying appearances to individual items, Transmog now applies directly to armor slots. So that means if you set a Transmog on your head slot, every helmet you equipped will automatically use that appearance. No need to retransmog gear. Every time you get an upgrade, it will immediately change to what you set it to. This eliminates the constant gold sync that I think we all see when doing this, and it removes the repetitive clicking of setting everything the way you want it, and it just makes your character customization effortless. Midnight is also adding contextual swapping. Now this feature is actually really cool. So you could set outfits based on where you're at. So say you walk into your new player house, your character shifts into a cozy home outfit, or say you're going into a raid, you will automatically appear in your full raid gear outfit. So I think this is a fun way to immerse yourself more into the game. This is going to be great for the role players or people who just like to stay stylish. Flights are now getting streamlined in Midnight, and Vigor is now completely gone, but Skyriding is still remaining. The Vigor system is being replaced with a simplified charge system. So the charges feel more intuitive, the whole experience feels smoother, more relaxed, without a giant vigor bar crowding up your UI. Midnight's goal is to make flying fun and not something you have to constantly monitor and worry about. Now the next thing that is changing in Midnight is add-ons and quality of life stuff. In Midnight, we're going to see a continued push on reduced reliance on third-party add-ons. The base UI already has had a huge revamp in the previous expansions, but it is further being redesigned. Nameplate systems look cleaner and more customizable, along with an updated advanced cooldown manager that acts like a built-in simplified version of weak auras. Many quality of life features that players previously had to download add-ons for are now integrated directly into the game. Now this is amazing. I'm so excited to use these. This was always a huge thing for me whenever I would come back and play the game. I would set up my action bars and it would take me hours, and then I have to remember what add-ons I had, what add-ons I need. So this is going to save me so much time. And now finally, drumroll please, player housing has finally arrived. Now this is one of the most anticipated features in World of Warcraft history, and it's finally happening. Arriving in patch 11.2.7 later this year, housing allows you to own a home, decorate every part of it, place furniture, arrange collectibles, and build elaborate interior layouts. You could even save and share your design codes, meaning if you stumble across a beautifully crafted house created by another player, you can instantly import the layout to yours. It's the biggest community-driven feature WoW has added in years. But Midnight doesn't stop there. There's a new allied race coming, the Haranir. This new allied race is a nature-infused being who lives deep beneath Azeroth. They feature glowing bioluminescent skin, intricate tattoos, and entirely new druid forms, making them one of the most visually unique races WoW has added. And they could play almost any class except Paladin, Demon Hunter, and Evoker, but they could join either faction. So if you enjoy playing druids or nature-themed characters, the Haranir offers some of the coolest customizations in the game. And speaking of customizations, Demon Hunters are also getting a revamp with the new spec Devourer. It's going to blend a mid-range spell casting with a burst of melee combat gameplay. The gameplay loop revolves around harvesting souls and staying in a void-empowered state as long as possible. All classes are also getting 10 new talent points and an entire new Apex talent tier, adding hopefully new depth without overwhelming you. Midnight is also adding some new zones. There will be 4 major zones in total. Zul'Aman returned as a massive, colorful wildland dedicated to the Troll Empire lore. Harandar takes you deep under the roots of Azeroth into a glowing primordial jungle filled with nature magic. And the Voidstorm is a twisted void realm where Xal'atath builds her army. Your journey starts in the refreshed Eversong, then lets you choose one of the 3 middle chapters, Harandar, Zul'Aman, or a light-themed pilgrimage before ending in Voidstorm. Eversong Woods has been fully revamped, healed from the Scourge, expanded in size, and combined seamlessly with the Ghostlands into one modern zone. This seems far more flexible and replayable than any of the previous expansions. Midnight launches with a strong lineup of 8 different dungeons. Delves are also making a return with 10 new mini-dungeons, plus 1 Nemesis boss. Delves are perfect for solo or duo players who want replayable content without committing to full dungeons or raids. The new raids at launch will be Voidspire, Dream Rift, and the March on Kael Danis. And if you want to experience all of this solo, you can in story mode, so this ensures that non-raiders can experience the full narrative without having to invest in it. Now PvP players like me are finally seeing some new content, with Midnight introducing a brand new 40 versus 40 battleground called Slayer's Rise. This is a huge, large-scale map inspired by Alterac Valley and Isle of Conquest, where players capture bases, push objectives, and eventually take down enemy commanders. Permanent training grounds are also being added, offering a PvP vs bot mode. This lets players practice their rotations, learn their classes, or experiment with new specs in a low-pressure environment. Blizzard has also hinted at broader PvP improvements, specifically trying to make PvP more welcoming and easier to get into. I think we could expect more from this post-launch, but that's all we got so far. But anyways, that is all that is coming in this newest expansion of World of Warcraft. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, please give it a like and a subscribe. It really helps the channel out a lot as we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.